Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 19 shows Araya slicing into one of the claw grimes, but the sad part about it is he wasn't able to slice all the way through. It got stuck in there, and then Ryu was able to pull the claw grime away, taking away the lodestone sand sealing blade, and now here we are, which just goes to show the strength difference between Araya and Boruto. And I think that just goes to show how hard Boruto has been training comparatively to everybody else in the world. You know what I mean? If they're in the Sand Village and the Hidden Leaf Village, those are the only two that we've really seen. But I'm just saying, for reference, Boruto was able to cleanly slice through them all. And I really haven't seen anybody else do it. Possibly Sasuke. I would assume Sasuke can do it. I haven't really seen anybody else destroy or just like cleanly slice through them. So I guess we can kind of look at it as like, or maybe he was a little too quick with it. I don't know. I'm just trying to look at it from the perspective of like, Arya tried to like cut it somewhere, and then maybe it moved or it went a different direction, right? Like maybe he was going for like a head chop, and then it moved over to the side of it. I don't know. But from the look of it, he was trying to cut it. It got stuck. He couldn't slice all the way through, so he couldn't help her all the way, and then they got pulled away. So, comparatively, Boruto slicing through all the claw grimes is actually an insane feat, and it's only compared with Sarada and Mitsuki, who are able to like really damage their opponents. So while Sarada could probably Chidori or kick or fireball jutsu and hit them and like disintegrate or destroy the claw grimes, it's a little bit more difficult when we're talking about like I guess a sword or a basic kenjutsu attack, right? It's a lot more difficult when you have to go in for a slice or for a stab or a push or a kick or anything like that. It's not that they're difficult to kill or to like defeat. I guess it's more so that like, because you have one after another, I guess you'll lose stamina or you'll lose strength of it. And it just goes to point out like maybe Arya's chakra was a bit low because he was putting it into the lodestone sand sealing blade. Like how long could he keep that up? I don't know if that's like a jutsu he could maintain forever, but possibly for a long time. I don't know. But anyways, just a comparative strength difference between Arya and Boruto slicing through them. He wasn't able to cut all the way through. But maybe the sword's ability isn't like, how can I put it? It's, yes, cutting is like one of its main purposes, right? But it's also with the added effect. I guess if he had channeled more of his chakra into it, like the wind style to slice through it, it could have done it. But, by then we're giving him too much. He needs an upgrade, right? He should just be able to slice through it with the sword, just like Boruto is. But he's not strong enough to. So it just, again, comparatively to show that Arya isn't up to par to handle the Shinju. He isn't able to handle the claw grinds. Like, there's levels to it. And it's putting them in harm's way unprepared. Kashin Koji knows that, well, I would assume knows or can see into the possible future of Arya and Yodo and Mitsuki and Sarada, them losing because they're not strong enough to face this threat. And I think there is a chance that they do win, right? But it's not going to be a total victory. They're going to take some hits. So I think that's where Boruto's really conflicted, is that he knows that they're not him. You know what I mean? They're not training as hard as he was over these past few years. He's had time to prepare for the threat coming, whereas everybody else is kind of just training regularly. They're not aware of the threat itself. So because of that, they're not able to act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So overall, Arya wasn't able to cut through the claw grime, which means that everybody else is weak compared to what Boruto is capable of. I think Boruto is able to handle the claw grimes and the Shinju to an extent. You know what I mean? If they all group up together on him, he's not going to win. And one-on-one against Jura also means Boruto might lose. So, what does that mean moving forward? It means that after this mission is over, everybody needs a training arc. Everybody needs an upgrade. That, or we got to figure out a way to group attack or to face the claw grimes, because that's going to be the main army, right? That's the white Zetsu. That's the whole That's our force, you know. That's what we're attacking with. And it's not that it's not like 100,000 of them, you know what I mean? It's like a couple thousand, you know, manageable, right? Within the Boruto universe that we have now, with such smaller group of shinobi. But when you evolve all the other villages and whatnot, it's easy. It's easy to manage. We can deal with them, but I'm just saying our quality isn't up to par with them. So right now we have to figure out, how is everybody going to train? How is everybody going to level up? And is it going to take, you know, obviously Kawaki joining, Himawari, Team 10, Sarada, Mitsuki, everybody needs to level up, you know, even just a little bit. So that's what this chapter showed us, is that they need to get stronger in order to not deal with what they just dealt with, you know. If he was able to cleanly slice through the claw grime, this wouldn't be an issue. But because he wasn't, now they're in this situation where Boruto might have to jump in to help them out, you know. So we'll see what happens. But until then, we can only assume that next chapter they're doomed and they're gonna need saving at the last second from Boruto. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,